Yes. Come on. Come on. Oh! That's it right there. Ha!
I'm not really sure there was. It's 4-0. Well, you get the face off the other end.
Well played, PK. Well played.
I didn't want to jinx anything, but this cup has been going back and forth year after year. And I knew if I won it, you'd actually still try to take it. That being said, a little bit of history has been made here. I am the first person that has won this 2 years in a row. Huh. So, I'm good as the Penguins now.
Tricky bastard. All right, let's get going. Well, it took them a while, but this year the Washington Capitals finally lived up to their potential and captured their club's first ever Stanley Cup. Before we get to the finals though, let's talk about rounds 1 through 3. For the most part, the first round didn't have too many surprises, with all but one of the top seeded teams advancing to round 2. However, after that, things started to go in a different direction than most expected, especially with not only Winnipeg upsetting Nashville in 7 games, but also Washington finally getting the better of Pittsburgh for only the second time in the two clubs' playoff histories. Then, in round 3, Vegas continued their improbable run by upsetting Winnipeg in 5 games, while Washington pulled off their own upset in 7 over Tampa Bay. In a few ways, Vegas kind of reminded me of the 2012 LA Kings. Unlike the Kings of that year, the Golden Knights were a division winner, but like the Kings, many people, myself included, really didn't give them much credit until they continually, and in dominating fashion, proved us wrong round after round to make it to the finals. What did you think of the first 3 rounds, PK?
You know, going 7 for 8 in the first round and 0 for 4 in the second, that really shocked me. I didn't know what to think. Vegas looked and was very strong in the first 3 rounds. Washington broke their curse in the second round, and all the other major teams were wiped out. Pittsburgh could make it a three-peat, thankfully. I mean, you had a build-up for the Stanley Cup Finals where you had a first-year team make it to the final game. And no, I don't count Colorado making it to the finals after they moved from Quebec. I mean, you had a team that's never been in the playoffs before versus one that hasn't been there for a very long time. Made for an exciting final. What did you think of the finals?
I thought it was a great matchup, especially when you consider one team holds the record for the best first year by an expansion club, and the other holds the record for the worst. I mean, Washington only managed to win 8 out of 80 games during their inaugural season in 1974-75. And yes, Vegas became only the 4th club after Toronto, St. Louis, and Colorado to reach the finals in their first year. Though yeah, since Colorado was a relocation as opposed to an expansion team, most don't count them. I will admit, with how close the first 2 games were, I thought the series would have gone a full 7 games. I'm not sure if it was having faced more adversity during the first 3 rounds that toughened Washington up, but after their win in Game 2, they really seemed to challenge Vegas in a way the Golden Knights hadn't experienced yet in the playoffs.
When you have a team like Washington, who finally breaks their second round curse, they are on a mission. There is no stopping them from what they want to do. It may have been a different finals if Nashville had won and made it to the finals, or even San Jose. Nonetheless, it still was exciting. I mean, would you want anyone else in the finals aside from who you picked? For me, I didn't. I actually enjoyed who made it to the finals this year.
My finals picks aside, I would have liked to see Winnipeg make it to the finals, since they're kind of my secondary team, and I was really enjoying seeing them finally make a deep playoff run. However, I'm in no way upset that Vegas made it, because it was a bit surreal to see an expansion club be this successful right off the bat. What I am upset about is that when I finally agree with you on Washington not getting past the second round, what do? They not only get over that hump, but they win the frickin' cup. It's like being stuck in the slow lane during a morning commute, then getting over into the fast lane, only for that lane to slow down and the lane you were just in to speed up.
I know. I mean, what the hell is up with that? I mean, you pick them and they fail. You don't pick them and they pass. I don't understand it. Maybe you're the curse. Maybe it's you that's been cursing them all this time. This might be something to look into. However, next year I want to see more Canadian teams. Yes, I know there's still a lot of Canadian players on the teams, but I want to see more Canadian teams in the playoffs again, aside from Toronto. But that's just my personal opinion. So, should we talk about the elephant in the room?
Oh, that little guy? I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
No, man. The one where you're actually going to make me feel sad about this.
Oh, you mean because this will be our last joint video?
Hockey video, yeah. Others, maybe not. I still do run a beer review show after all.
This is true. Well, in that case, I guess there's only one thing left to do.
Yes! Now that's what I'm talking about.
From a couple of arrogant bastards, thanks for tuning in.
in.